Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Vintage Captain America figure. So this is the first of the figures I'm going to be looking at that come with this card stock back package with the blister on the front. Very, very reminiscent of the very old figures. They're taking a note from those DCUC figures that came out not that long ago. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cool idea, but there's as expected, there are definitely some problems we need to look at, so let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. I do want to point out that the artwork they chose to use does not really match the figure at all, but I guess that's kind of subjective. So let's move on from there. This guy stands just about 17.5 centimeters, which makes him pretty close to 6 3/4 inches. And the molded parts, I mean, the figure itself is nothing we haven't seen before. We've seen this all before. The only real difference is the paint job. So let's talk about that. He does have a lighter blue, which is fine. It's very retro looking, so that's cool. It looks good. Okay, so as far as what's molded and what's painted, this blue is molded, this red is molded, the hands are molded, this red is painted, this white is molded, this white is painted, and then I'm pretty sure the blue is all molded up here with just the black line work on top. This is molded in white, painted red. This is painted white and red. And then the head, I believe, is... yeah, the head is blue with paint on top. So you can guess it's not all going to line up very well, but the real problem I have is that the white part, and this is the same as the face-off Captain America from, what, 80 years ago? The white is just super terribly painted. It's really, really dirty looking, and it's not a good idea. Not good at all. So very ugly. It's not so bad for the torso, but it's definitely not great. They did do a pretty fantastic job for the scale mill paintwork. The only real issue is at the top of the shoulders. It's kind of funny, but that's to be expected. So I'm very pleased with that. The head is still kind of iffy, and he still has his eyebrows on the outside of his mask, and I absolutely hate that. My brother told me that he was originally drawn that way. I did a relatively short search for Captain America classic artwork, and I couldn't find any with his eyebrows on top. So I personally think it looks absolutely stupid, but if it's accurate, then fine. If it's not accurate, then that's a big problem. As far as accessories goes, this guy gets the shield with the throwing piece on it, which is kind of cool, except it's totally wrong in terms of how that works. So for instance, when you have the shield with that thrown little swooshy thing, the swoosh can't come from the hand. That's not how it works. You can see the swoosh goes past the hand because the hand keeps moving as the swoosh and shield stay in one general position. So having it like this is just absolutely ridiculous, but I can imagine people are going to like it, so that's okay. It's done well enough, and the shield can come off if you want, so that you have just your standard shield with the clip that goes on his back. So that's okay, I guess. As far as the figure goes, you know, we've seen it before, but we'll run it real quick anyway. The head can look up, it can look down, it can lean from side to side. Not too much rock from side to side, but that's because it sits on the neck properly, so that's good. These shoulders are still absolutely terrible. Awful, awful shoulders. You can rotate them around. It's very, very stiff. You can't bring them out to the side. The bicep swivel works okay. Double jointed elbow works well enough. And then you have your wrist hinge. Why do none of the joints want to work on this guy? You have your wrist hinge and your swivel, and that works just fine. Mine's molded all terribly, but it should be okay for everyone else. Ab crunch leans back 1 notch, leans forward 1 notch. Pretty minimal range, but it does look okay. He does have the really weird abdominals on here, but it's okay. Waist twist is alright. Belt is a separate piece. Mine came all the way up like that. I think it looks better down, so I pulled it down, but you can choose to do whatever you want. For the hips, they go out to the side only about 45 degrees. They go forward really nicely, not so far back at all. Thigh swivel works fine. Double jointed knees work just fine. You have your boot swivel, and then for your ankle, you can kind of push it and get it pretty good. It goes pretty far forward and all the way back, and then you have your ankle rocker. So, if you like the original release with this mold, you're probably going to like this one. It does have the classic look. So, I mean, the only fault it really has is that white paint is just terrible, and then the accessory is still kind of goofy, and then he has eyebrows on the outside of his mask. Otherwise, it's basically the same Captain America we already have, so if you like it, you're going to like this. I don't know if it's really worth opening, even if you're an open collector, a loose collector, you're probably gonna be better off leaving it in the package and letting it look kind of kind of classic and retro rather than just having another mediocre figure on your shelf, but that's totally up to you. So now you have the information to decide. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.